As you can hear, this is not a B-52s cover video. Rather, it's taking the ideas of Ricky Wilson, who's famous for unique alternate tunings where you take off the G string and stuff, and just jamming on them and see if you can come up with your own riffs, original sounding stuff that doesn't sound cliched, and just use his ideas and repurpose them for your own stuff. And I got into Ricky Wilson because these 5-string tunings he does are really similar to the idea I had for Sonic Sandman, where you take off the D string. And I talked about that in a lot of previous videos, but some of his things are very similar. Now, I'm going to start off with the easiest one. He has at least 3 major tunings that he did for a whole lot of B-52 songs. It's off the first 2 albums. And the first one is easiest to do without any major restringing and crazy stuff. So it's just drop D, take off the G string, you got some space, and then B, B, so you tune your E string down to B, unison strings, which I like a lot because I'm a major Sonic Youth guy, and the easy way to get dissonance, and it totally changes everything up. I love that stuff, but the big innovation here, because, you know, drop D is nothing special, but D to B is a pretty unusual thing because it's a major 6th, and that would be about the last interval I would go to when I'm trying to make an open tuning that's like a cool chord or something, because, you know, I don't think that sounds so cool, and I don't know, the major 6 is not an interval I use a lot in my own stuff. I can't think of any Shy Squad song that prominently features a major 6, but whatever. That's kind of what makes it interesting, taking somebody else's ideas and doing stuff you wouldn't ordinarily do. I just, you know, I wouldn't do like this necessarily, and just use it for 1-finger open chords. So I was kind of wondering what you're supposed to do with all this major 6th stuff, because it kind of sticks you in a weird position, but you can always put your finger on the 3rd fret of the high strings and do a drone. 3 octaves, very good for the pseudo-Hindustani, pseudo-sitar music that I love to screw around with. This is it. This is mystical shit. And you can always do these airy, floaty things. And you can always use the high strings as your fundamental for the drone, and then move around on the low strings, do heavy stuff down there and stuff. But anyway, this is not a guitar lesson. This is a glorified screw-around session, because I would never dare to give anybody a lesson. And it's more like, hey, look, I did a thing, and you can try it too, and it's easy to do, and it's fun to screw around with. And, you know, keep the legend alive. Ricky Wilson, preserve his memory, because he did some interesting stuff. And the alternate tunings he did, you know, can be applied for all kinds of stuff aside from the B-52s. Who I haven't bothered to learn anything by, and I'm not terribly interested in even. I mean, they're interesting. I like him, but, you know, not a major influence on me. To me, their major influence was that they, you know, coming out of the Athens, Georgia scene, they helped put Pylon on the world stage. And Pylon is one of my favorite bands, and I will be coming back to that in the future when we do the tunings of Randy Bewley, so that might come back at some point. So this DAD-XBB tuning was used on Strobe Light and Lava and Mesopotamia and a couple other ones. And I was listening a little bit, just trying to figure out what he was doing, and it sounded like he was just doing like power chords in the bottom and just throwing in little stabs at the high string, like I'm sure there's more to it than that, and like I don't think he was bad or anything. It sounded kind of simplistic, but that's good a lot of times. And I just in some interviews they asked him like, how do you get these tunings? And he was just like, oh, I don't know. I just keep on tuning until I hear something I like. And like, I bet there's more to it than that. I bet he really did know what he was doing, because you know, in these interviews they try to make it sound like, oh, I'm all naive and. But B-52s were really tight, and I don't think you get tight like that just screwing around with stuff and not knowing what you're doing. So mad respect to Ricky Wilson. Tight AF. So I was thinking we might as well kick on the Baby Katana and see how it sounds with a little grit, because the onboard distortion sounds on this little thing, well, I like them. And it's got a little reverb thing to it. Let's see what you get here. The overdrive on. Brown sound. So then I thought this major 6 thing was kind of cramping my style, so I took the high strings and tuned them up 1/2 step, B to C, and that enables you to do more conventional riffs. So that's the thing you can do to modify the ideas of Ricky Wilson. So if anybody likes this video and is interested in this stuff, he's got 2 more major tunings that he used on a lot of classics. Haven't gotten to the one yet that he uses on My Own Private Idaho, which is my favorite B-52s song. And that one requires restringing, but should be fun, and I'm hopefully going to get to it at some point and give it a try. And if you made it this far, salutations to you, and let's take you out with the all-round carefree package a la Ricky Wilson.